Protein, the essential building block for muscle growth. But protein does a lot more than just muscle growth. It is I, the GOAT, and in today's video, we will be talking about the importance of protein. I am not a medical professional, don't sue me. There are 8 different types of protein that your body uses. Well, technically there's actually hundreds of thousands or maybe even millions of proteins in the human body, but let's not worry about that. Protein, or amino acids. Amino acids are the small pieces of the puzzle that forms into the actual protein. When a protein is consumed, it breaks down into individual amino acids. So, protein equals amino acids, but not all amino acids equal protein. When a protein is consumed, it breaks down into individual amino acids, which the body then uses to make its own proteins for various functions, which goes back to the 8 proteins that are actually important. Contractile. The purpose of the contractile protein is to regulate the movements of your heart and muscles. Defensive. This type of protein keeps your immune system strong and helps defend against diseases and infections. Enzymatic. Enzymatic protein aids your digestive system by accelerating the metabolic processes occurring within your cells. Hormonal. Hormonal protein enables the cells in your body to communicate with each other. An example of hormonal protein is insulin, the hormone produced in the pancreas that regulates your body's blood sugar level. Receptor. Think of the receptor proteins as the cell's security guard to a club. These proteins control all of the substances that enter and exit your cells. Storage. The storage protein is responsible for storing mineral ions. One example of a mineral ion is iron, which forms hemoglobin, a necessary component in red blood cells. Hemoglobin is a protein in red blood cells that carries oxygen. Structural. This type of protein is fibrous in that it creates the framework necessary for healthy bones, muscles, tendons, skin, and cartilage. Collagen is the most abundant protein in the human body, providing essential structural support and firmness to connective tissues like skin, bones, tendons, and ligaments. Elastin. Found in tissues that undergo repeated stretching, such as arteries, lungs, skin, and certain ligaments. Elastin's ability to deform and then snap back is crucial for the proper function of these organs and tissues. And keratin. Keratin is a tough, fibrous structural protein that forms protective layers in animals, primarily found in hair, nails, and skin. These are some examples of structural proteins. Transport. The protein that delivers important minerals such as hemoglobin to your cells. These proteins play an important role in your overall health, which is why they're very important to get a good intake of protein every day. There's simple proteins and more complex proteins. Simple proteins are pretty much just amino acids, while complex or conjugated proteins are amino acids plus a non-protein combined, for example, carbohydrates. Things get a lot more complicated, and I am not educated enough to talk about the matter further. Now let's compare different protein options and how something can be better than others. Let's compare a steak to whey protein. Both are protein, but one is objectively better than the other. Steak, not only does it provide protein, but various essential nutrients like B vitamins, iron, zinc, etc., which isn't found in whey protein powder. That doesn't mean whey protein is worse by any means. Whey protein still has its advantages, like it's easier to just whip everything up and boom, you're done. You have a quick source of protein. Also, whey protein is cheaper than eating a lot of steak, so keep that in mind. And also, fun fact, beef protein is easier to digest, which is pretty neat. When I was at Costco, I saw this one thing called protein sparkling water with like 30 grams of protein, and I thought there's no way that would actually work, right? It has around 150 calories, give or take, and if you drink it, it's just drinking straight up protein. You don't get any other vitamins or nutrients, so you can't just be drinking this as your main protein source, go figure. Though it is a fast and easy way to get some protein in you with the downsides of artificial sweeteners in it. But honestly, I thought it was a scam when I first saw it, but it's better than I initially thought. Protein is still protein no matter how you look at it. But would I say it's better than protein shakes? I don't know. It's mainly up to preference because it's still protein at the end of the day. If you want something more light, I would say drink that. Or if you want something more filling, go for a protein shake. But now let's talk about some good protein sources you should be eating. To be classified as a good protein source, let's make some comparisons first before I talk about good protein. You usually want to consume about 10 grams of protein per 100 calories. That's around like an average good point. The Mr. Beast chocolate milk advertises itself as a better for you protein milk, but not really as a protein shake. It's just supposed to have more protein than Nesquik. The Mr. Milk has 410 calories and 23 grams of protein, which is around 1 gram of protein per every 17.83 calories, while Nesquik has 250 calories and 14 grams of protein, which is around 1 gram of protein for every 17.86 calories. Very insignificant protein difference, but the protein in Mr. Milk has a lot more excess calories. Just by doing some math, Nesquik is actually healthier. If you want good chocolate milk and less sugar for kids, just drink Milo chocolate powder. It's definitely going to be healthier in the long run. But the point I was trying to make is that you don't want to take something that says it has more protein, but then you get excess amount of calories. That's just a whole nother problem in itself. These will never be your main source of protein though. Some real good protein, of course, would be things like chicken. Will always be a great protein source, especially the chicken breast, which is the lowest calorie, highest protein source in chicken. The only downside is it's hard to cook juicy and make flavorful, but that's probably just a meat issue. Fish. Pretty much any fish is a great source of protein. You can't go wrong with eating fish. It's just that some provide more vitamins and nutrients than others. But either way, if you're eating fish, you'll be fine. Beef, you have lean cut steaks, ground beef. Those are all good protein. Eggs, of course, probably the best protein source out there. Not only for having great protein to calorie ratio, but also providing you with various vitamins and nutrients. The only downside of eggs I could think of is it's definitely high in cholesterol, but that's about it. The good definitely outweighs the bad, which is why you see a lot of people eating eggs every single day, because they're just that good for you and tasty. Then there's stuff like pork, duck, like other meats like that. They're just like, I don't know, not as good, but they're still like protein sources, so just eat meat. But if you want non-meat options, there's stuff like beans, nuts, milk, yogurt, avocados, brown bread, tofu, etc. When it comes to vegetarian/vegan options, beans and nuts are probably the go-to protein item because they definitely do have a considerable amount of protein compared to other vegetables. Because honestly, vegetables do not provide a lot of protein, but they're more packed with nutrients, so that's the trade-off. You always gotta eat your vegetables no matter what. So if you want to get big and strong, you gotta eat meat and your vegetables. For how much protein you should consume per day is determined by your body's weight, height, physical activity, etc. There's definitely a lot of different factors, so take everything I say in this section lightly, as it might not fit your needs. Let's say you weigh 150 pounds, you're gonna need at least a minimum of 55 grams of protein just to maintain yourself, or around 1 gram of protein for every 36.4 calories you intake throughout the day, if assuming this is just for the 2000 calories recommended daily intake. If you go to the gym and want to put on some muscle, you might need to be consuming 2200 calories or even 2400 calories or even more depending on gym goals. And for protein, you will need around 100 grams of protein per day or more to support muscle growth and muscle repair. There's definitely a lot more to mention, but everyone has different goals, so this is just a simple explanation on the matter. In conclusion, protein is the main factor in what you should be consuming for the health of your flesh vessel, but you can't just look at protein to be healthy. You have to make sure you're taking in all the essential vitamins and nutrients your body needs to maintain itself. If you liked this video or thought it was educational, leave a like, it always helps. If I missed out on anything important, let me know in the comments. And if you think I should make another video like this, let me know. I could try different vitamins, carbs, nutrients, etc. Alright, that's all for now, fellas. Bye bye.